Hi, this is Lavonne from Lavonne's Kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how I cook my homemade macaroni and cheese. First, what we're going to do is I have my big pot of water over here to boil, and we're just going to season up the water. Basically, we just put some salt in there. Put a generous amount of salt in there. Okay? Then I'm going to start making, while that's boiling, I'm going to start making my sauce, if you want to call it. So I have evaporated milk. I've got 4 cans, but I'm going to put one in here first so that when I scramble my eggs, it really incorporates with the eggs. I'm going to throw this in my garbage bowl and let's bring the garbage bowl over here for a second. I'm going to put 3 eggs in here. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Just gonna whisk that in there real good. And as I'm doing that, I'm gonna put the other cans of my milk in here. I want my eggs to be nice and beaten. Everybody's always asking for this recipe, and usually whenever I make it, I always make it in a very large pan. I never make small amounts of macaroni, so unfortunately when I'm telling you this, I'm giving you ingredients and sizes for a very large pan. Okay, so we've got our milk going on here, and it's already stirred up. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to cut the cheese. I've got some extra sharp cheese right here that I'm going to use. We're going to cut that up. Can't get it out of the package. There we go. That in our garbage bowl. And we're just going to start to cut it up into small little chunks. Yeah. You don't have to make it too small. You don't necessarily have to have it shredded because it's going to melt. So, but the smaller you do cut it, the easier and the faster it does melt. So we're making them kind of small, but not so small. Okay, so we have our extra sharp cheese in there. As you notice, I didn't use the whole thing. I used 3/4 of it. We also have some mild cheddar that we're going to put in there. About 2 cups. Then we have some Colby Jack. We're also going to put 2 cups. we're just gonna kind of mix it all up. Now we're gonna season it. I'm gonna put some salt, some black pepper, and since I've been giving you some of my secrets lately, I'm gonna give you guys a secret to my macaroni and cheese. It's a secret ingredient. You would never guess it. I put nutmeg in my macaroni and cheese. Just a little. Just a little. Mix all that up. Now, remember I had all of my liquids. I'm going to incorporate my milk in there. My milk and eggs. Cut. So I put my milk and eggs in there, the evaporated milk, but I also add some regular 2% milk to my macaroni. I put about a quart of milk in there. Next, I'm going to put a stick of butter and slice it up a little also so that it melts easier as well. Just stir it all up, and this is my sauce for my macaroni. Did I cook it as a sauce? Nope. I just put it in the pan, and as soon as my macaroni noodles have boiled, I'm just gonna put my macaroni noodles in here and combine the two. It looks like it's about ready. So gonna put our noodles in here. I'm gonna use 3 bags. They're 1 pound a piece. I'm gonna use 3 bags of macaroni. 1, 2, 3. Gonna stir that up. That's gonna take about 10 minutes to cook. So we're gonna come back in a few minutes when that's done, but we're gonna keep stirring it so that it doesn't stick together. And then once that's done, we're just going to add it to our cream mixture. Okay, so my noodles have boiled and they are done. So I'm going to drain my noodles, get all the water off, and then put them into my cream sauce. What's going to be creamy. So let's turn this off. Over here. Let's get a facial with all that steam. Ooh, it's hot. Put a little water in there so it makes the pot a little easier to wash. We're going to let that drain a little. And it still has water coming out, so I'll just let it drain. Okay, that should be good. Now we're gonna go back and I'm just gonna pour this into my cream mixture. Alrighty. So now I'm just going to stir this up. Because it's hot, it's going to already start to melt the cheese and the butter that's in here. So what I'm going to do now is cover it with some foil. I'm going to put it in a 400-degree oven for 15 minutes. Let some of the cheese melt a little more. Stir it up so that the cheese is evenly distributed. And then I'm going to uncover it and let it cook for another half an hour. So my macaroni has been cooking for 15 minutes so that I can let the cheeses melt. So now I'm just going to stir it up. And take the lid off. See how the cheese is starting to melt? Stir that all up. Now it's making a sauce. And after I stir this up, I'm just going to leave it uncovered in the oven for another 20 minutes to a half an hour and see if it gets nice and combined. Alright, that's good enough. We're going to just spread it out. Put it back in here for another 15-20 minutes. And then we will cover it with some mild cheddar cheese. We'll cover it with mild cheddar cheese and put it under the broiler. Let that cheese melt so that you have some of the most wonderful, creamy, cheesy, gooey, buttery macaroni and cheese in the world. From Lavonne's Kitchen. We'll be back. So it's been another 20 minutes. And so I'm going to stir it up one more time. Make sure that all of my cheeses are nice and melted. Now, look at how nice and creamy it's getting. So, I like a lot of cheese on my macaroni. So what I'm getting ready to do now, I put a lot of cheese in there already. But I'm going to put some cheese on top and then brown that cheese. I'm going to use my mild cheddar. Nice layer of cheese on top. Then I'm going to change it from 400 to broiled. And the broiler is what's going to let this cheese melt a nice, creamy, not necessarily brown, but it's called browning it. It's going to be a gorgeous color. Trying to get all my noodles nice and covered. One more little bit. Okay. And then I'm just going to put this in here. Turn it on boil. Okay, so my cheese has melted on top. And there we go. Lavonne's Kitchen's macaroni and cheese. I'm going to let my daughter taste that in a second. Look at this creamy deliciousness here. It's hot though, so I'm going to let her taste it. My daughter's name is Crystal.
Mmm. It's cheesy and buttery. As usual, it's delicious.
Okay, well, you heard it from Crystal. It's delicious. Thanks again for joining me on Lavonne's Kitchen. You guys stay tuned for next time. Bye.